Hello, welcome to the channel, guys. I'm here in beautiful Berlin with Felipe Pikullik. How are you, Felipe? It was a very awkward handshake. Look. Nice, good so. Okay. So today we are here. I wanted to visit you to see how you're doing, how you're advancing in your company as well. You came to Zurich a few years ago when delivered my piece unique, which was a very touching moment. And you've grown a lot since then. Huh? Back then you had, what, 1 or 2 watches. Now there's like a whole collection on the table. So how you been in the last 2 years?
So thank you very much that you are visiting me in Berlin.
My pleasure. I only came for the baklava.
Yes, the baklava is good. Of course, the last years from this last meeting that I was in Zurich was happening many things. Now, as you said, we have a bigger collection and we are developing a few more things for the future. It was a difficult time because we was growing to build the new workshop where we have now 13 people.
Wow.
With me 14, and I'm learning every day more and more things, not just about watchmaking, but I hope I can come back more to watchmaking in the future, but also personal relationships with my employees and how to support them to be also a good watchmaker and to reach our quality.
Of course, because the quality has risen a lot. I mean, the englage you have is really good. It advanced from back when I got my first watch. I was able to also acquire the Sternenhimmel and the beautiful Moonphase 1 here, which is my favorite so far, except maybe for what's coming in the future, which we'll talk about at the end. So I see you have a lot of watchmaking tools here, a lot of desks. I saw people as well when I came here, because I've been here for 2 days. I saw the englage on the Moonphase, for example. I saw some polishing of the bridges as well on the back. So what actually do you produce in-house, or what happens here in Berlin?
At the moment, at the actual collection, we are working on a base movement from ETA, completely disassembled. Also the gears from the pinions, for example, which is not normal, to reach the manufacturing quality. Our work is basically like a manufacturer who have his CNC parts and make them to manufacture parts. And this is the same what we do with the ETA movement. The dial, for example, and the hands we do in-house, like the diamond setting on the Starry Sky or the black polishing on the HTH. And the watch which have the most parts which are in-house is the Moonphase.
The Moonphase,
Yeah, the Moonphase complication I made, I developed that. And also the prototyping and the production goes as well with the same techniques that I used in the prototyping. So here on the right side from us, we have the bigger lathe, which is Chaublin, which is a very important part of my life. I love to work there. It's just fascinating how you create from just raw material a gear or plate or the moon, for example.
And then it's a part of the watch. It actually works. It helps it run. Huh?
Exactly, it works. And if I test the watches, the Moonphase especially, you control the moon and you can see it from the window, the moon. And if it's the same, it's a very emotional moment.
It's nice. And I think with the Moonphase, this is where I saw, okay, this guy's gonna do something sick. You develop your own, module, components, a design which I didn't see in the watch space yet. So I think this is really nice. You said there was a lot of inquiries for your watches lately, in the last 2 years, and the prices went up now to a normal pricing point, which I think is correct. But people still wanted to buy Felipe Pikullik and support your company and your people here. So how did you come up with the Classic? What was the idea from your side? And what's the difference between the Classic and the HTH or the Starry Sky, so people can really understand it?
The best model to compare with is the Starry Sky, because of it have the same movement shapes on the bridges. Also the beveling is there. The balance bridge is hand engraved, but with the time when we did the pricing correctly for a manufacturer who we are now with 13 people, I had to adjust the prices. And we have now some people who wanted to buy a watch and can't afford the Starry Sky, for example, or the HTH. And this was not so good for me. I want to make it possible for everyone to have a watch from us. So I thought about a watch that we can do for everyone who dreams for a good watch, which have some handmade techniques in it. I developed the Classic model. The difference is easy to know.
Yeah.
It's not a big difference. You have the beveling, which is not polished. It's just this. It's the same movement, just the beveling is not polished.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference in the work. So if I make this movement without polishing, it takes the half of time of producing.
Wow, crazy, huh?
The complete watch.
Yeah, that's why some watchmakers like Philippe Dufour and everything are so known and respected because of the finishing.
Yeah, the finishing.
Because if you look at the simplicity, it's a very, like the name says, simple watch, kind of. But the finishing makes it super expensive because it takes so much work.
Exactly.
But even being an entry-level piece, the dial is very exquisite. Like you have all the applied indexes, polished.
Yeah.
The minute indexes are like...
They are pins.
Pins, yeah.
Which are integrated into the dial. So everything is mechanical. Just the name was printed and the second track.
Beautiful, yeah, like a very grainy finish on the dial. And you have different versions, right? I see the green as well, the blue.
We have green, blue, and black.
The black, yeah? Beautiful. What I also want to talk about is the HTH.
Yeah, the HTH is an emotional watch.
Yeah.
Because it shows my passion to watchmaking. HTH stands for homage to Harrison. John Harrison is the first pioneer of watchmaking. He was the first person who carried about precision in watchmaking. In his complete life, he did 5 main pieces. And at the age 4, which is one of his life works, he did the same engraving I did the same engraving as he did on his watch. So I am inspired of his work of precision, which is my goal also to develop something in the future. So he is my favorite watchmaker in the past.
It's nice because it's also very, I think, well tied into like German watchmaking with a 3/4 plate, right? Engraved. You also have weighted balance wheel, which some of them don't have because I requested for my Moon if we can do that, and there's just no space. Because even though you're using the Unitas as like a base, you didn't want to really increase the case dimensions by a lot. The diameter of the watches is still really nicely wearable. Because usually people that use these movements, the watches are like, 44, 45 millimeters. And those are just unwearable watches. But this is very nice. And I like also the mini track and everything. It's applied on the dial, correct?
Yes, the mini track is made of stainless steel, black polished. At the base we have brass, which is frosted with black rhodium plated.
Gorgeous. It's a very clean watch, like a very nice daily watch, for example.
Yeah, and it's good. You can use different colors on the strap and it matches every time.
You can make it a bit your own. Very nice. And the execution of the components is really good. I filmed it up close and I think it's remarkable. So the watch you're most known for is the Starry Sky, or in German Sternenhimmel. And when I filmed it today with the direct light, like some of the stars look bigger, some smaller, so it really resembles the night sky essentially. And as far as I remember, you like astronomy.
Astronomy is my passion for a long time. And I just wanted to start my collection with something which explains my passion and shows everything, right? We have the movement which is decorated with the most difficult techniques in watchmaking, and at the front side you have the vision of the future, the universe. And the next step was the Moonphase, first step for the future. And we want to go more and more in-house producing and astronomical complications, like also different perpetual calendars. And
very nice. And I love this watch because it's somehow very sleek and under the radar, and it's also not. Like the dial, it's half-half. Because sometimes when my cuff is covering the dial, it looks like there's nothing on it, Because it looks like it's like half empty when the hands are on the left side. And I think it's nice because it's a very subtle complication, but very romantic and just a beautiful one. And the execution, the case spec is even better, even more anglage.
Yeah, we have more difficult anglage. The most people think interior anglage is the most difficult, but it's not. The most difficult is when 2 bevelings meet each other. And I integrated like 4 or 5 of these spaces.
I mean, at least. And I love the little Moonphase here as well. And again, you really wanted to keep the case at the same size. So you basically squeeze the Moon here in between the balance wheel and the winding barrel basically somehow. It's gorgeous. And it's also made in-house, right, on the machine?
Yes, the Moon is completely hand-operated, just with a cutter.
But essentially, the Moon starts off as a raw piece of brass or?
Brass.
Yeah.
And then plated with black and white rhodium.
Do you put two halves together, or is it one piece and then you?
It's one piece.
Oh, gorgeous. And the holes in the Moon you also make in-house?
Yes, the holes in the Moon, the gears for the Moon complication, the pinions, the bridges, and
gorgeous. And this is number 2 of 20. Thankfully, I'm able to own one, which is very nice. And how many of the Moonphase watches will you now produce per year, roughly, so people can understand, what's the delivery times? I mean, by the way, the Moonphase one is long sold out.
Yeah.
So don't acquire for this one. But the production is approximately what?
Like 10 per year.
And we also said in the beginning, and I've seen a rendering, which we cannot show, but what's coming?
It's coming the Moonphase 2, which will have the same case, but 80 to 90% own movement. What will be really special is that the balance will have a brigade spring, and the balance itself will be a screw balance and completely handmade. And some more parts will be also handmade, but I want to go with every new model deeper and deeper into handmade parts and complications. Also, the movement is based on a base plate, but the base plate is on the back side.
Okay.
So, and you have the complete movement on the front side.
On the front, so you'll be able to see all the gears, the Moon.
The watch will have a completely relief hand engraving of the starry sky from Berlin.
Awesome, and I think it's going to be cool because, again, this is, even the Moonphase 1 was like a big step in like being fully in-house and stuff. But the second version, I think, will be the first watch which will be almost fully, right? Completely designed, created basically in-house. Which is really cool. Awesome. And also people love your skeleton watches. This is, of course, when I say Felipe Pikullik, people think about skeletonization. You made a skeleton 1. This is the second version. Both sold out. Don't fear, there is more coming. Right?
Yeah, sure. The series is called FPSK, Felipe Pikullik Skeleton, of course. And this, which is the FPSK 2023, the white rhodium and blued version. Blued screws, it have blued hands, and the plates are white rhodium plated, and the gears are yellow gold.
Very shiny, with the rhodium.
This is the first version of this 23 model, and the second is black rhodium without bluing. And it have other things special. It have the same hands from the Moonphase, half frosted, half polished. And we had a lot requests also for not engraved. But this year now, 2024, the FPSK will be in 3 versions. Not engraved with black rhodium, hand engraved white and black rhodium. So
nice. So people can have a bigger option, basically.
Exactly.
I personally prefer the not engraved version. It's more sleek and, avant-garde, modern. But again, this is a lot more craftsmanship, essentially, because you have to still polish all the bridges and everything. Plus, you have to engrave it, which if you screw up, it's really expensive mistake. Awesome. So if people want to inquire about the skeleton watches, they still can for the new ones. And what some people don't talk about, and I really like here, is the quality and the size of the minute track, which goes around the dial. It's very minimalistic, but really well executed. And you also have a few piece uniques here from your customers, which we're able to show. So one is this one, which is from a good friend from Zurich.
Exactly.
So this has been in production for quite a time now because it was a very complex piece and it was in a time where the company really grew, correct? So it's a smaller case, I see.
Smaller, and it have a complete different movement base, which we also reworked with a new rotor for the automatic. Very good customer, I like him very much. And I'm very happy to invite him to pick up the watch.
It's engraved with your initials plus his initials.
Exactly.
And again, the dial, much smaller than the other ones, but the amount of details here with the engraving on the center, the little plaque on top, and also all the indexes, which are blue and...
so crazy work. It was just the dial was some weeks of work because the minutes are 0.4 millimeter in the height, and also the diameter is 0.3 millimeter. So
no
to
idea
make
how
them all.
this.
This was crazy.
Sometimes with watchmakers, I have no idea how they just pull off these magical things. Huh?
Yeah.
The measurements are crazy. This is a more classical piece from the beginning, correct?
Yeah, this was the first dial model called ZBM1, in German Zifferblatt Modell 1,
so
dial model 1.
Model 1, yeah. A beautiful advanced anglage on the back. Since owning 3 of your pieces, I can really see the development of anglage through the years now. This one has a nice bridge, which is slightly more sloped and with a very wide beveling, which is super nice. And the dial, is reminiscent of your first piece, which is cool as well, with the 12, 3, 6, and 9 blue sapphires, which is really nice. And another piece unique here, like the HTH dial almost, but with the Chinese numerals.
Blued chaptering, with Chinese numerals and blued hands.
Gorgeous.
White rhodium base.
Beautiful. Congrats on owning this beautiful piece, sir or lady, I don't know.
Sir.
Sir, okay. So, what would be the future for Felipe Pikullik?
Yes, there are some things. As we go to 13 people here, I have no capacity to teach more people here in the manufactory. I'm in contact with the Berlin State.
Yeah.
And we are working on a new watchmaking school here in Berlin.
Okay.
It will take some time, but it's beginning soon.
Yeah, nice.
And
that's good. It's great news.
Yeah, very great news, I think. And the good thing is I will be able to control the things that they can, that they have to know. So I want to put a lot of knowledge into the school and also extra courses.
Yeah.
So they can
learn only polishing,
learn what they
this.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, man. That's a big step, huh?
Yeah, sure.
And again, only 2-3 years now. You work a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen this these few days. He doesn't know what sleep means.
I know. Sometimes.
Well, listen, when you have so many watches to produce, people to teach, time is a very valuable asset. So yeah, I mean, again, congrats on everything. I wish you and the team all the best.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait to see what's gonna come in the future. Huh? And guys, if you want to inquire about any of these pieces except my Moonphase 1 that you can't have, send a message to Felipe. I'm gonna put all the links in the description below. Obviously, give them a follow, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.